Wholesale deliveries of pickup trucks rose 4.1% to some 79,500 in the first 2 months of 2025, the China Passenger Car Association said. The increase was driven by exports as sluggish real estate development across China continued to weigh on domestic pickup demand, the trade group noted. Global automakers have failed to produce enough pickups to meet demand in international markets since 2022, the trade group said in a statement March 14th. That has paved the ground for export growth of pickups from China, the association said. In the latest 2-month period, automakers shipped roughly 38,000 pickups overseas, a jump of 38% from a year earlier, according to the trade group's tally. Top export destinations for China-made pickups are countries in Latin America, the Middle East and Southeast Asia. Electrified pickups continued to gain traction in January to February, with shipments of full electric, plug-in hybrid and range-extended electric pickups industry-wide surging 166% from a year earlier to around 3,500. In this episode of the Ally All Ears podcast, Aaron Lee, Senior Director at Ally Dealership Insurance, discusses the growing threat of cyber attacks on dealerships and the importance of staying vigilant. He shares essential tips for safeguarding against these risks and highlights the need for specialized cyber insurance coverage to protect your business. Great Wall Motor Company consolidated its position as China's largest pickup maker, with shipments advancing 14% to 29,584 in the first 2 months. SAIC Maxus Automotive Company, a light truck subsidiary of SAIC Motor Corporation, ranked second with wholesale pickup shipments of 9,868, up 2.2%, followed by Jianghuai Automobile Company, with shipments of 8,528, up 0.4%. With the start of the Lunar New Year shifting to Jan. 28 this year from February 10 last year, pickup shipments in China jumped 39% to about 43,000 in February after slumping 18% to about 36,500 in January. In 2024, wholesale pickup deliveries edged up 1% to roughly 513,000, with exports rallying 75% to some 231,000, according to the trade group. Title: Auto Canada aims to sell US dealerships within the year. Content: Auto Canada Inc. expects to sell its loss-making US dealership portfolio in 2025, as it wraps up the sale or closure of several non-core assets following a strategic review initiated last year. Company Executive Chair Paul Anthony said March 19th that efforts are ongoing to secure a buyer for the 10-location US unit known as Leader Automotive Group. All the stores are in Illinois and most in the Chicago area. We think that the desirability for these assets will be strong, and we've made a decision to move on from the US market, he told analysts on a conference call as the company reported its fourth quarter earnings. Auto Canada CFO Samuel Cochran told analysts that the company expects to close the sale within the year. Canada's only publicly traded dealership group also listed the US unit as a discontinued operation as of December 31, 2024, meaning the sale must be a highly probable before the end of 2025 to comply with international accounting standards. The Edmonton-based group that owns 64 franchised dealerships in Canada signaled it was considering the sale last August, citing choppy performance and limited management bandwidth. On March 19th, Anthony echoed previous comments about the company's struggle to turn its US unit around. In this episode of the Ally All Ears podcast, Aaron Lee, Senior Director at Ally Dealership Insurance, discusses the growing threat of cyber attacks on dealerships and the importance of staying vigilant. He shares essential tips for safeguarding against these risks and highlights the need for specialized cyber insurance coverage to protect your business. We've tried time and time again to rebuild that business, and it just seems like we don't have the right talent in there. In year-end financial disclosures, the company said it was engaged in an active program to locate buyers for its 17 franchise US operation. The platform is one franchise smaller than at the end of 2024. Auto Canada said March 19th that it terminated its Volvo franchise in the Bloomington Normal Auto Mall in February. Anthony said it made more sense to close the franchise, which shared a rooftop with 5 others, given the shared location and the brand's disinterest in the market. But with a banker in place, Auto Canada is fully committed to selling the rest of its US footprint, Anthony added. He did not address whether a buyer has been found for part or all of the unit. The pending US divestiture follows several others in Canada. The company sold 3 Stellantis dealerships in Alberta and British Columbia in September and November. It also restructured its Right Ride used vehicle and financing business in September, closing 7 of its 13 stores. It shut down the remainder of the unit March 4th. Auto Canada reported, all figures in CDN, $1.26 billion in revenue for the fourth quarter, down 1.2% from the same period a year earlier. Full-year sales totaled $5.35 billion, down from $5.61 billion in 2023. The company's Canadian unit posted net income of $7.1 million in the fourth quarter, up from a loss of $16 million in the same quarter of 2023. Its net income for the year was $36.6 million, down from $68 million in 2023. AutoCanada's US division booked a net loss of $45.5 million in the fourth quarter, including a $27.4 million settlement with the Federal Trade Commission, compared to a loss of $6.6 million in 2024. For the year, the company's US stores recorded a net loss of $103.4 million, compared to a loss of $14.2 million in 2023. Following the strategic review, and with the pending sale of its US stores, Anthony said AutoCanada is focused on driving cost savings at its core Canadian dealerships and collision locations. Content. Audi's small high-performance sedan, the RS3, receives a handful of tweaks inside and out as part of a refresh for the 2025 model year. The RS3, which sits atop the A3 lineup with a 2.5-litre 5-cylinder engine producing 394 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque, features a new grille design, a larger air intake, a redesigned diffuser and new wheel designs. There are also 3 new exterior colours. The A3 was Audi's second best-selling car in the US last year, with sales of 9,528, down 30%. The RS3 can reach 60 miles per hour in 3.6 seconds and a top speed of 180 miles per hour with a Dynamic Plus package, which also includes high-performance summer tires. Sign up to get our afternoon video email. The video focuses on a new topic in the news each day. Highlights of the RS3's interior are a new flat top and bottom steering wheel, a detail also found on the Q6 e-tron electric crossover and redesigned A5 sedan. There is also an updated shifter design as well as dark grey metal finishes on the door handles, trim, and vents. Customers can choose from black sports seats with black, green, or red stitching. In this episode of the Ally All Ears podcast, Aaron Lee, Senior Director at Ally Dealership Insurance, discusses the growing threat of cyber attacks on dealerships and the importance of staying vigilant. He shares essential tips for safeguarding against these risks and highlights the need for specialized cyber insurance coverage to protect your business. RS3 pricing starts at $64,695 including shipping. Title: A VW seat brand shuns EVs to focus on combustion engine cars. Content. Martorell, Spain. Volkswagen Group's Spanish brand Seat will focus on selling cars with internal combustion engines because of the weak EV market, its CEO Wayne Griffiths said. Seat will not be getting a version of the VW brand ID1 battery electric car because it will not be profitable for the brand, Griffiths said. VW plans to launch the ID1 in 2027 as its entry-level full electric car to compete with Chinese newcomers such as the BYD Seagull and established rivals such as the new Renault Twingo. Seat has traditionally been VW Group's entry-level brand, but Griffiths said, we cannot invest in unprofitable projects. With the current price of batteries of $100 per kilowatt-hour, these models cannot be profitable. We will have to wait until the battery price goes down to $70, even $60 per kilowatt-hour. Seat will keep its present range of ICE and hybrid models until the end of the decade, Griffiths said during the brand's 2024 earnings call here on March 13th. The Ibiza small hatchback and Arona small SUV will receive facelifts this year and will add mild hybrid engines to their current gasoline-only range. The Leon compact hatchback offers plug-in and mild hybrid drivetrains.